All right, Joe, we're going to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline right now. Shop over 1,500 Toyotas indoors in one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. Super agent and our buddy Drew Rosenhaus going to join us here for a couple minutes. Welcome back to football, Drew. Even though it's nonstop for you, we actually have camp and actual footballs being thrown around, but we're back.
Yeah, it's definitely fantastic from an agent standpoint. You know, our job's year-round. In the off-season, we're dealing with negotiations, trades, free agency, the draft, recruiting, endorsements, marketing, appearances, charities. And then when we get in season, we're dealing with things like playing time and who's starting, who's not, who's getting the ball, who's not, who's getting the sacks, who's in coverage, injuries, and, you know, all kinds of stuff, cuts and reserve lists and COVID protocol and vaccinations. And it's always busy as an NFL agent, especially when you represent about 100 guys like we do. But I always love football, and this is one of my favorite times of the year. I'm excited to get out to Dolphins practice, perhaps as soon as this Saturday, check out the new training facility again and watch some of our clients go out there and compete.
I'll tell you one thing. Your couple of your guys looked really good. The opt-out team looked really good, just so you know. Albert Wilson and Allen both looked really good at practice yesterday. Boy, those guys had themselves ready to go. I mean it. They did, just not because you're on the air. Hey, Drew, I want to get in a couple things here. This Xavier Howard thing, and I know you don't represent him. I know he's represented by somebody else. Obviously, you saw he wants to be traded because they said no, and no to all the different things they threw at. Would it be that hard for them to add $4 million onto that $12 million guaranteed and get it done for this year at least?
You know, I as a player agent, I always root for the players, and I'm always supportive of players getting paid, and it's great for our profession and great for players. And I'll answer this genuinely. I do think the Dolphins can get it done, and I hope they would. It would be the right thing to do. I don't want to get in the middle of this, especially publicly, but to answer your question, I think there is a solution, and I don't want to take one side or the other, but I'm very supportive of players and Xavier Howard, and I'd like to think that the Dolphins will find a way to get it done. But, you know, quite frankly, we represent Emmanuel Ogbah, and he's in the last year of his contract, and he would like a new contract, as we've stated. And, you know, that's something that we continue to talk to the Dolphins about. So, you know, certainly, you know, we've got our own work cut out for us with the Dolphins, and we worked out a contract extension for Jerome Baker this offseason with the Dolphins. So, you know, we've done a lot of business with them. We had clients in Bobby McCain and Eric Flowers that were released and traded respectively. So we've had a lot of dealings with the Dolphins this offseason, and obviously I know what Howard is going through, because we've had guys with multiple years left on their contract over the years that we've negotiated new deals for, whether it was Terrell Owens going from Philadelphia to Dallas or Antonio Brown going from the Steelers to the Raiders to the Patriots. I've dealt with this before, so certainly understand it's a tough situation, but when you're dealing with a great player and a good organization like the Dolphins, I'm confident they'll get something worked out.
Do you think that it's possible the Dolphins in their minds are thinking, at this point, if we do this, it just sets a bad precedent going forward with other people's contracts? Like with Ogbah in that situation, last year the deal, want to get something done, want to keep him in Miami. If you're a Dolphins fan, you want to keep him here. Of course, that's the case. But with 3 or 4 years left on a deal, 4 years left on a deal, you think that that's probably in mind for this Dolphins organization up top with Chris Greer and company?
You know, Zach, it's hard for me to speak for the Dolphins, right. You know, and naturally I don't want to think one way or the other, because that wouldn't be fair to them. But I certainly know that it's always challenging when you've got multiple years on a deal, but when you've got a great football player like Xavier Howard, who's been so productive and had such a great season last year, is an important part of the team. You just have to get creative and find something that works for both sides. It's just that simple, and hopefully they will. You know, and right. Like I said, I've had success in dealing with this Dolphins organization and dealing with Coach Flores and Chris Greer and Brandon Shore the team negotiator, and we've got ongoing, talks with them right now. So, again, it's I'm kind of in the heart of it as well,
right,
with another player on the team that would like to get a deal done. It's not just Howard. There are other guys like Mike Gesicki. I don't want to speak for him. He's not my client, but he's in the last year of his deal, and the tight end market is definitely blown up. We did a deal for Jonnu Smith this offseason with the New England Patriots for more than $13.25 million and over $31 million in guarantees. And I'm sure Gesicki's looking at that, and he's basically playing for around $2 million this year. So there's a lot of this going on around the league. It's not just unique to the Dolphins. I'd say all 32 teams are dealing with 2 or 3 negotiations, and they're all unique. Some are like Agba, you're in the last year of your deal. Some are like Gesicki, a rookie playing out his contract. And some are like Howard, where you've got multiple years left on your deal.
Yep.
Hey, Drew, I wanted to ask you about the vaccination thing. The NFL coming out pretty strong, although the numbers look pretty good. I guess a lot of the teams are over 85%. What are your thoughts on the way that's handled and going forward for the guys that decide to go the tough road of trying to play this year with different rules?
Well, obviously I am very sympathetic towards the players who feel it should be a personal choice. At the same time, I understand the NFL's position. I understand the organization's position, who want to win and want to do everything possible to stay healthy, and believe that the vaccinations are the way to do that. I mean, certainly you can understand the side of the NFL, and you can understand players who want to be able to choose in their own way. But there's got to be a solution that works for everyone. And I understand encouraging people to get vaccines, and I'm in support of players getting vaccinations, but I also respect my clients who don't believe in that and have their own reasons for not doing it. And respect them, and I support them as well.
Hey, Drew, can I flip it over to this college thing we got going, which, by the way,
Sure.
as you've been watching, is just a mess right now. I mean, I've never seen college football like this. Mark Emmert,
Yep.
what the SEC's doing. I want to get back to the NIL for just a second. We got a top high school athlete who's got a year of eligibility left that's thinking about leaving early to go to Ohio State because of money. We got to get some rules in place here, don't we, my man? I know you're in the business now, but I was afraid of a lot of different things. That wasn't one of them. But guys graduating early to go
a year early,
making money.
right.
We got guys who can barely drive going, hey, man, what are your thoughts?
Well, I've been an agent for 34 years before the NIL, and now the NIL is in the mix with college, and it's very chaotic. Everybody in college football, true freshmen, incoming freshmen, sophomores, of course, the juniors and seniors can all now hire marketing representatives, can do a litany of marketing and endorsement, name, image, and likeness deals. And it's wide open. It's great for the players, but it's very tumultuous for college football. Certainly tumultuous for the agent profession. There's a lot more work to be done for a lot more players than ever before. To open it up to the college ranks certainly will create a lot more chaos. But I can understand the argument that in our country, if you got a teenager who's a great actor and has the ability to earn money and endorsements, or is a musician, then they're able to do it. And, where do you draw the line? Do you say that a talented actor or if someone's, a great performer or has some technology that they introduce or is an entrepreneur that they can't make money because they're 16, 17, or 18? It's a valid argument on both sides. And you're right. There does need to be rules. I for one, am, certainly in favor of free enterprise and allowing people to make money. But I do think you've got to have rules, and you've got to have things in place to protect the young men and women that are affected by this, as well as the universities and college education is very important. And we certainly want to see not only young people have the ability to make money off the field or off the court, but also get their educations and develop in the proper course of time.
Did you ever think you would get in the marketing business for guys going top seniors in high school to being a freshman at any school.
Right.
And you got an open market like Drew. You're in the business, man, and it's legal. We don't have to hide from it, man. It's there for you, along with your 100-plus clients that you have in the NFL that want new contracts.
Guys, I didn't. I didn't anticipate this. It really didn't occur to me over the years. I always felt like college players should get paid. I think the NCAA missed the boat not getting this done decades ago and creating a system where guys got paid, and now they've got completely unfiltered chaos, and it's not going to get any better. It's only going to get worse, and I think ultimately it's going to happen with the high schools and everybody that's had success in this industry, whether it be agents or the colleges or the NFL, are going to have to deal with this now. It's just that simple, and that's where the world's going.
Drew, we were just having this talk earlier on the show. We talk about it all the time, social media. How much conversation goes on between you, maybe even Jason or Robert, and clients about social media, the way they use it, answering back to fans? Like, I understand it's their social media, not yours, but as their agent or as someone that advises them, how much conversation goes in about that before a guy maybe goes a little too far on social media?
It depends on the client. If we've got a veteran guy, they understand it by this point in time. They've been well educated, but the younger guys that we're working with, whether in college or early in their NFL career, we spend a lot of time talking to them, helping them understand that it can be a great tool. It can be great to interact with fans. It can be a medium to make money through endorsements and marketing opportunities and posting and things of that nature. And at the same time, it's it can be very detrimental if you say the wrong thing or you're inappropriate. You have to assume that when you're on social media, that you're sending something out to the whole world, sort of like a press conference. And I advise guys, every time you make a post, just imagine you're doing it in a room full of reporters and media, because that's the same thing. And guys have to be very conscientious of what they're doing and who it affects. And in our society today, you've got to be very sensitive about a lot of the issues that have come into focus. And, there's a lot going on in the world right now.
And by the way, if you can't handle it, my thing was this morning, if you can't handle it, no matter what kind of money potential is out there for you, you shouldn't do it, right? Like Drew,
Sure.
I see your stuff and people say, and I told these guys this morning, I go, Drew's not affected. Like, Drew is, the skin's gotten really thick through the years. I'm guessing
That's right.
you don't bother worrying about
Not at all, man. I don't even, frankly, guys, I don't read what people say on Twitter. It's been years since any of that's affected me. I've been an agent for 34 years. When I was 22 years old, people were ripping me and it bothered me. But that ended about 20 years ago. So you just get accustomed to it and you really disregard it. And I tell my clients that, I tell them, you just got to understand there's a lot of people out there that are going to say negative things about you. They find it entertaining, or whether they're envious or they just, they like to be opinionated. That's fine. Focus on your world and the people that matter to you, and don't concern yourself about, the average person that you don't know or you've got no clue who they are or what they're dealing with. Just kind of concentrate on your family and your friends and your network and just do the right thing on a daily basis, and you'll be fine no matter what people say.
Drew, we're going to let you go. I'll see you Saturday, hopefully out there at practice, man. Thanks
absolutely, guys. Keep us
appreciate you
great
coming
work.
on. Thank you, Drew.
Take care, guys.